Hello everybody, Giselle Grenier here from artplace.ca. In today's video, I'm going to be creating another little piece of miniature art, and I'm going to be using this as my focal point. And I'm creating a whole bunch of these for some of them are just miniature art, some of them are for artist trading cards for a swap that I'm hosting. So I thought, why not do them on camera so that way you can see what I'm doing. And all the pieces that I'm doing, sorry, I'm washing my hands while I'm talking. And everything I'm doing, you can adapt it to anything. So if you don't want to do something Christmas, just use a different focal point. And I want to show you, I'm going to work with a very, a very textured card. And all I did was I took packaging, and what's this? This is from packaging from a carton, it looks like peaches. And I applied gesso to both sides, very light. And then what I did with the gesso is with a palette knife, and I just did this to get some good old-fashioned texture on here. This will take a little bit of time to dry, and you really shouldn't use the heat gun when doing this because it's so thick. So I did that. Okay, and put that aside. And what you end up with is something like this. Okay, then I'm going to take black gesso. You may say, why not just do this with the black gesso? Because I may want some of the white to show through. I don't know. And I'm going to take black gesso, and I'm just going to apply it like this, and see how I'm putting it on there. I get some texture showing through. And he's going to be on this side, so I want to make sure that I've got some around the edges. It creates beautiful, beautiful texture. I want to make sure I don't have any white because I don't want to cover the actual print. And the print I picked up from Graphics Fairy, of course. And like I say, if you don't want to do anything Christmas, then just choose a different theme. Okay, I'm going to just quickly dry this. And my idea is Mr. Claus here, and I'm going to be putting some stars. I'm going to put in some acrylic paint and then some rhinestone stars, and the quote is, "Baby, it's cold outside." So with that being the jump off point, I picked pieces, the reds and the blacks and the whites, to kind of choose all the different things. And what I want to do, I'm going to be stenciling as well. So let me think for a second. I've got this stencil, it's called Dangles. It's huge, but they've got little small pieces in here. And I want to, right there. I'm going to take some phthalo blue, which is already too much paint, but you need to put it out there so you can see it. And I'm working on my unstick mat, so I don't need a palette. Translucent, phthalo blue. This was primary magenta. Then I've got translucent white. I'm going to put out roughly equal parts, and then burnt sienna. And we'll start off, let's see, we're going to start off, let me think of the color. I want something that's kind of a icy blue. Let's first make our color here. So I took about equal parts of the primary magenta and the phthalo blue, gets to a nice purple, and you touch in a little bit of burnt sienna, and that'll knock it down, the vibrancy. purpley. Purpley? Is that even a real color? Purpley? Then just some white and bring that in. Oh, that's so pretty. This is the mixture I use for my landscapes. The blue and the brown makes either Payne's Gray or Burnt Umber or Chromatic Black, and I added a little bit of red to warm it up. Yeah, that's what I'm liking that. It's a shame I've wasted all that paint. All right, so I'm going to take a little stencil brush, pad the excess off on a paper towel, and I'm just going to go round and round. Son of a gun, I'm not going to have enough paint. Round and round. Whoopsie. Chisel. The excess. And I'm just going to circle that on there. I don't want it to completely cover any texture that's in the background. I moved it again. I'm just adding a subtle, well, they didn't come out to be complete circles. Oh, what a waste of paint. I'm trying to do this before Joe comes home. He's let's see, what time is it right now? I think it's about 5:45 in the morning, and he's out for his 10K walk with Mia. And it's really cold outside. It is really pretty. It's just to add some I'm thinking of Christmas lights dangling down. Get this out of the way. And my idea is have all these little stars. It's a very, very simple little card. And then the quote here. It's a very, very simple little card. And because if I would have put those stones directly on black, look how intense they are. But because I've got that those dangles in there, it's not so strong. All right, so I'm going to collage this down. I'm going to use matte medium. I'm going to put my glue gun on. And I found that with the rhinestones and even the stickers, I don't rely on the stickers that are on the actual pieces. And I'm putting this all over just to give it extra protection. Sorry about that. Had to stop for a sec. Joe came home. All right, let's go back and put another layer on this. And Mia's full of energy, so hopefully she's not going to bark. And I did it again. Forgot to do something. It takes me a bit to get back on track. Okay, so roughly equal parts of phthalo blue and burnt sienna. Not adding any of the magenta or anything in there though. Just getting a nice chromatic black, which is black made with color. And I'm just going to use the dauber. And I'm just going to touch the ends. You can use a cosmetic sponge for this if you want. I find that sometimes with a cosmetic sponge, if I use too much pressure, it envelops both sides, and I don't want to get too much of the paint on the front. I just want to get rid of the white of the sides of the cardstock. And I like using paint because it's permanent. If you used water soluble, like distressings or anything, you really wouldn't be able to varnish after the fact because that stuff is water soluble. Use whatever you have though. If you're using something water soluble, then don't varnish. And I'm going to hang on to that. And I'm going to apply this here. Put that there, right to the bottom. The swap that I'm running is called Vintage Holidays. This was one of the cards I'm going to use. I'm just using the angled part of the brush to fuse everything because there's texture in there. You can use a credit card if you want. I'll just take leftover what's in my brush and just apply it over the print. And we'll close that, put that aside, put the brush in some water. And Joe picked up this trim. He found this at Michael's. He said, use this. So I'm not quite sure. Oh, it's wire. Okay. It's wire. It's wire. Yeah, wired ribbon. Okay. I'll have to make sure I can use that. So that's what I'm looking at. What could I do with this wire? Like a present. How about like a present? How about like a present? What I'm going to have to take a look at is what happens when you cut it. Does it fray? Yeah, it does. Ooh. But I like that. It frays. So let's cut a couple of pieces this way, or a few pieces. And can we do something? I'm not sure if I want to put ribbon on there though, because I really like the simplicity of this. I'm not sure if I want to do that. Okay, let me just glue these little rhinestones down. Oh, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to frickin' burn myself. Actually, let me just put it there. And these little rhinestones are little stars. They came in a kit like this, $1.50 at the dollar store. You can use glue if you want. I like using the glue gun, especially for the thick embellishments. If depending on how I apply it, it'll create some extra dimension, so things aren't so flat. Oops, a bit too much. A bit too much there. One more. They also have little flat ones too. Beads and snowflakes. I don't like things in even numbers. I like them in odd numbers. There. And this one here, this already has a little bit of glue on it. I'm not relying on that. Baby, it's cold outside. Roughly equal distances between here and here. I'm going to turn this. I'm on an angle with the camera. I can't see in the monitor. There we go. And turn that glue gun off. I'm going to take this now. Actually, no. I'm going to use something else. I'm going to use, do I use a dauber? There we go. Because this part here, I don't mind if I get it on the front. It'll add a touch of blue. It's a bluey black. Chromatic black on the blue side. And Mr. Santa Claus sticks out a bit. I don't worry if the cards aren't exactly 2.5 by 3.5. It's really a problem for the person receiving it if they are using, let's say, they're putting everything into an album or something. I like stuff that sticks out. All right, that's that. Joe's going to say, you didn't use the trim. I like the elegance of this, but I find that trim kind of makes it chintzy. I don't know. No, I'm not using it. I'm leaving it just the way it is. There we go. Simple, super duper. So you had the texture with the gesso, then the black gesso, a little bit of a mauve, a light mauve, just roughly stenciled in there. Glue the focal point on, glue on some stone, glue on your sentiment, and there you go. Very, very quick little miniature art. I'm using this as an artist trading card, and I will put a label on the back which will have the information about this piece along with my partner's name. Now, the other thing that you can do, before putting the stones on, you can put a glitter varnish on here if you want, but I'm liking it just the way it is. So I hope that you enjoyed this fast little project, inspire you to create something. And I would actually like to challenge you to make miniature art and use this as a starting point. So go to graphicsfairy.com, pick an image, and then go from there. So gesso with the palette knife, black modeling paste, put on your focal point. Oh, sorry, stencil something. If you don't have a stencil, just use a brush and just dry brush something on there. I might do that for the next video, just to show you an alternative way to do this. Let's say if you don't have a stencil, and if you don't have stones, and so I'll kind of change things up. But I'd like to challenge you to make this in your own way. Use your own idea for focal point, or copy what I did, and then share a picture with me. You can email it to me, or you can share it in my private Facebook group. Links to both of those are on my website at artplace.ca. And I'd like to invite you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. That way you won't miss anything. And give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and comment below if you've ever made miniature art and the types of things that you've done. You know what else you can do with these? Alter the shape, bookmarks, the front of greeting cards, postcards, and you can even put these into miniature frames. They're fantastic. Poke a hole in there. You can hang them if you do them double-sided. You can create a mobile for your window. So these are really flexible. Alrighty, you guys, I'm going to clean up, get ready for my next project, and until I see you in my next video, stay inspired.